Across the world, we slip through fences, climb into shadows, and uncover the beauty and decay. We are the Unseen Network, a community of explorers, documenting what the world left behind. Welcome to No Tracers, a podcast of true urban exploration stories. My name is Kay, and together with fellow adventurers, we're bringing the forgotten back to life, with one common thing in mind: leave no trace. My dear darling friends, hello, welcome to the No Tracers podcast. It is time for another episode. It has been quite a minute. Sorry, I've been busy doing life and career things, filming rocket launches and doing all kind of shit. We'll talk about it more in the episode. But this week I'm so stoked. We have been trying to do this episode for years, literal years, but we finally locked it in. This week's guest is 40 Wax. Her name is Bianca, and she has an incredible story as to why she got into urban exploring, why she still does it, and I cannot wait to share this story with you guys. Before we get into the episode, just a couple housekeeping things. First of all, if you're new to the podcast, please subscribe. I tend to do these whenever I am available and have a cool guest. If you want to come on the show, if you've got some stories to tell, I would love to have you on. Hit me up, contact@notracers.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram @no.tracers. If you guys want to support the show, there's many ways to do so. You can leave a rating, especially on Spotify. You can also leave comments on episodes now on Spotify, which is sick. I also have a YouTube channel, No Tracers Urbex. And if you want to support me even further, I do have some merchandise and some photo books, prints, things like that. notracers.com/shop. Give it a browse. If you see something you like, pick it up and I'll get it sent out to you promptly. Thank you guys for tuning in to No Tracers. I'm so excited to introduce my guest. This is 40 Wax.
So my name is Bianca. I go by 40 Wax on Instagram. I've been exploring the bandos since I was 14 years old, but I've been I've been doing photography for 8 years in bandos, but before that I was just exploring them.
Gotcha. So what got you into exploring in the first place? What kind of scratched that itch for you?
So when I was 14, my mom actually brought me to an abandoned hospital, asylum, called Lad School. It's been demolished for years now. But when she took me there, I just fell in love with it. I was like, this is awesome. This place is so cool. It's so creepy. I just want to see every inch of it. And I just fell in love.
Wow. I there's been a couple episodes I've done where the parent kind of introduced the kid to urban exploring, and there's some people in the community that bring their kids, so the next generation. Yeah. So it's really interesting to hear, how people get into this stuff. And for me, I was just, exploring the woods as a kid with my older brothers, and we just stumbled upon an old house, and that was kind of I guess my first intro to something abandoned. But I didn't start exploring until 2016, so I was in my 20s then, and kind of really hit it hard on the West Coast. So I lived in California. So I obviously have to ask about the username. Are we a Lizzie Borden fan? Where are we at?
Yes, so I am a Lizzie Borden fan, but the name comes from my mom being a Lizzie Borden fan. So my mom was absolutely obsessed with Lizzie Borden. She thought that they had some kind of lesbian lover beyond the grave thing going on. She literally was in love with her. So she would go stay at the house, go on the tours, rent the house out, and she was absolutely in love with her. Would try to contact her on Ouija board, the whole nine. So when my mom sadly passed away from cancer when I was 25 in 2017, that's when I started really getting heavy into this, and that's when I bought a camera.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, because I was doing bad stuff.
Sure.
I was out there doing drugs, getting arrested, getting drunk all the time, getting DUIs, went to jail, ruining my life. So literally Urbex saved me.
Wow.
Like photography saved me. So I picked up a camera. I started taking portraits of other people. That's where I started. Like I was like, I just need to like get my emotions out somehow. And in doing that, I was like, I want to like dedicate this to my mom. Like I want to like commemorate her memory and like what she loved, which is like vintage antiques, like the Victorian era. And I was like, so that's when I started buying the dresses and all that, and the Gunny Sacks dresses, and she used to wear them as a teenager. So then it became like, okay, like this is all about her. Like, how can I make it more about her? And I was just driving one day to a bando, and it just came to me, like the song was playing in my head, like Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. And I like how it says gave her mother.
Yeah.
So it's like giving it to my mom by naming myself 40 whacks.
Oh, that's so
And
special.
that's
That, I mean, obviously, like coming from like the darkest time, or one of the darkest times, I'm sure, in your life, and turning that into something beautiful as not only a way to, you know, connect with your mom, but also to like keep her memory alive through something that she was really passionate about. That's so special, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what keeps you going back to abandoned places? Is it trying to like keep that connection going, or is it like beyond that? Like, where are you at now with all your exploring?
It really just keeps me going. So yeah, it keeps me feel connected to my mom when I just keep making art. It keeps me like sober.
Yeah.
That's basically my AA. Like when people like go hit a meeting, like no, I hit a bando. Like
Let's go.
that's what it is for me. Like that's what works for me. You know, my meetings might work for some other people, but this is what keeps me sober. It keeps my mental health good. Like I need it.
Yeah.
Like if I go like a couple weeks or months where I haven't explored and taken pictures, like I am not well.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is it for me. Like I'm gonna be doing this till I'm like 70 years old in a wheelchair.
Let's
in a
go.
bando.
Let's go.
Like,
It's, you know, there's like a common theme, I think, among a lot of urban explorers, that this is the thing that kind of saved them from their own demise. You know, I've heard stories of, you know, people that were just getting like shit faced in bandos because that was the place to do it, and then it turned into like, oh wait, this is actually a really cool location. Like, what if I like make something out of this instead of just making my life worse? So it's definitely a common theme, because I think also the kind of people that explore abandoned buildings, like you got to be a little out there to want to go find this shit, you know, especially like,
yeah, I would say we're not the norm.
yeah,
but
it's definitely a very niche thing, and you know, outsiders find it fascinating and weird, and you know, this is like our home, you know, it's our kind of, I guess, safe place, really. It's our way to like shut the rest of the world out as well. I mean, I tell people all the time, like the second I step into an abandoned place, it's like the world outside literally evaporates and there's nothing there. It's so special. Exactly. So for you, do you have like a certain type of building that you prefer? I'm assuming you're kind of more geared towards those like old Victorian houses, but do you kind of branch out from that?
Honestly, any kind of house, as long as it's old and has old stuff inside of it. I'm not really a big fan of like new abandoned structures.
Yeah, because they're made of cardboard.
Yeah, like it's nothing really cool to look at. It's like, okay, no. But it's like you're looking at like a brand new apartment or something.
Yeah.
It's just empty. But yeah, I like houses. Farmhouses are my favorite.
Okay.
Like old wallpaper and antiques and all that kind of stuff. So definitely houses. I mostly go to houses. I will check out like a church or a theater, but for the most part, yeah. And like hospitals, yeah, but there's barely like any left that are actually old and good.
Yeah,
so
true that.
But for me, houses are my jam, definitely.
It's interesting because I mean, I've done a couple like old Victorian houses and they're so cool. My grandparents owned an old like Victorian house in Louisiana. They ran it as like a bed and breakfast, you know, and it was so sick. And when my grandma was like on her deathbed, she was like, my whole childhood, like I spent summers there, and that house was haunted 100%. But my grandma would deny it to her grave almost. But when she was on her deathbed, I went to visit, you know, make my, you know, say my goodbyes and stuff. And she looked at me and she took my hand and she was like, I hope when I die that I haunt that house. And I was like, oh my God.
I love that.
It was so special.
I love that she said that.
It was so special. I was like, I need to buy that house one day.
That just gave me chills.
Dude, it was
that.
so like, that was like, That, and when she, like, the last thing she really said to me was like, don't come back here because I won't be here. And I was like, oh my God.
Okay.
This woman is so profound, but like, what the fuck? So
I've
like made it my mission to like one day buy that house back. Like a family owns it now. And, you know, I went there and to like just go see what they kind of did to the place, and just knocked on the front door, and I was like, hey, can I like film a video outside this house real quick? And they were like, yeah, we don't give a shit, whatever. I told them my grandparents owned it, and you know, it's,
oh, that's so cool.
But I haven't been back inside that house in, you know, probably like 10 years, but I have to buy that place one day just to go say hi to my grandma one more time, you know.
I hope that you can make that happen.
It's definitely a dream, but we'll see what we can do. So you do a lot of different kind of aesthetic looks like in these different houses, but I've also noticed that you do a lot of stuff. Well, maybe not a lot, but you've done some stuff with like fire. Can you talk about adding like that element into the photography that you're doing, and like what kind of drew you to that?
So the first time that I actually experimented with fire in photography was, I think, 2018, with my friend Hannah, who modeled for me. Her Instagram is @crimson morning. And I just wanted to showcase like the feeling of loss, grief, and just everything in between. So I had her sitting at a kitchen table with a newspaper, and I set that newspaper on fire in this abandoned house. And yes, was that sketchy? It was sketchy. I wasn't even prepared to do that. Like, it was just an on the whim, on the location. I was like, I'm going to set this on fire, grab my lighter, and just did it. And in hindsight, every single time after that, I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm bringing water with me. Like, I'm going to put the fire out. I'm going to be smart. Because, like, as she's modeling with it, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I think I got it. I'm taking a few pictures. And then I was like, wait, what do we do now?
And you get to the, like, oh, shit.
On fire. Yeah. So she's, like, has no shoes on. She's just in a dress, like, barefoot. So I told her to drop it, and I'm just like stepping on it, and that worked. But yeah, I was like, okay, don't do this at home, like,
or in any home, abandoned or otherwise.
In any home, yeah, unless you're prepared. So yeah, after that, mostly I've done fire outside now.
Yep. Seems like a better option.
Yeah, like I've only done it inside, I think 2 or 3 times, but I have done it outside a few more than that.
It is very cool. Yeah. It's very cool to like work with different things like that. It's so sick. And then I obviously like noticed some of the stuff you do like in October, like last year you did a bunch of like ghost type stuff. Like what kind of gives you this like creative inspiration? Are you just like coming up with ideas on a whim, or like how's this work for you?
So a lot of times I do just come up with ideas on a whim, like when I'm at a place. Like honestly, for the most part, that's what happens for me. The only times that I'm like, I feel like I actually like curated something and like put the time into making it is mostly when I shoot outside, like, cause like when I'm in a place, like I don't go there with like intentions. I just like, I find an object. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this to my advantage, and I'm going to like pose with this or whatever. But for the most part, I'll like curate ideas, and like for some reason I always execute them outdoors, and I don't know why, but that's just what I do. And in a bando, it's like way different. It just like comes to me. Yeah. But for the ghosts, I was actually inspired by a movie called A Ghost Story, and it's one of the most incredible movies ever. The cinematography is like out of this world, and it's just so sad and beautiful and tragic, and it made me want to do this series, and I wanted to do it for actually some years. And I started it, I took one photo for it, and then I just like didn't actually like push myself into creating 31 images. So I just posted that one like on Halloween, and then years later I was like, I'm gonna do it this year. So I put my all into that series, and I had a couple people who were featured in it, and it was like amazing to have them join in, and I was really, really proud of that piece of work that I did for October.
It's so the images are incredible. And what camera or cameras are you shooting on? Are you doing this all digital? Do you work with like any film photography?
I do use film sometimes, but I never post it really. Sometimes on my stories, but I traditionally just shoot with my Canon 6D Mark II. Okay.
Yeah, I just got into film photography about a year ago, and now I've like kind of become obsessed with it. I I don't know.
Right. It is easy to become obsessed with.
It's very, like, it's just so, like, kind of what you get is what you get. And I love that about it. And, like, I can't review the images. I'm just like, well, hopefully I got something.
Like, hopefully I got something.
Yeah, like, I just went, obviously it's not, like, actually abandoned. It's a tourist abandoned place. But I just went to Alcatraz because I was working out in San Francisco for a corporate photography job. And I had, like, it was like a morning gig, and so I had kind of the whole day. So I was like, well, I haven't been to Alcatraz in like 15 years. And so I was like, I'm gonna go out there. I had my film camera with me, and I was like, I'm gonna do one of my like photography walkthrough videos, but I'm gonna shoot it on film, so I have to actually go get that film developed here this week so I can start editing that video. But it's so interesting to shoot abandoned places on film, just because it adds more to the, like, I don't know, that like old school feel. I don't know, it just kind of fits the vibe.
It's like the whole aesthetic.
Yeah. Like I shot the first place I shot on film was the abandoned Six Flags in New Orleans last November. So like shooting that on film, I was like, oh, wait, this is how it's supposed to be captured.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so when I see your images, like they're very, like, even like the color tones, like you use a lot of that like teal and orange stuff. But
those are my favorite two colors to put together.
They're so sick. It's so, like, the vibe
together.
is so cool. And it adds to that, again, like that rustic, like old school nostalgia vintage feel that you are very like known for as a photographer and as a creative. So it reminds me a lot of like those like dual tones in film. So I was curious about that. For you, like, what's in your bag? Like, what's in your photography bag or in your, like, your creative bag? Like, what do you bring to bandos with you?
So I just bring myself, my phone, my camera, my tripod. A couple different dresses are usually shoved in my camera bag, but they're also, like, all over my car all the time. Which I actually stopped doing that recently because my entire car got stolen with, like, 30 of my vintage dresses in it recently in March. So I try to actually not do that anymore and just bring the dresses back inside with me when I'm done with them and be more cautious of that. But yeah. And then, geez, what else is in my bag? That's basically it. Sometimes I'll bring like baby wipes because my hands and feet and stuff get dirty when I'm like posing in these places. Right. And yeah, my cigarettes and lighter.
Gotta bring the essentials.
Yeah, I'm not smart. Like, I don't bring a flashlight.
You're like, no water. I don't bring, fuck a snack.
I don't bring water. I don't bring snacks. I don't bring anything that you would ever think that like you'll need. And then I'll be in somewhere like, oh my god, I'm so thirsty. And then I'm just like, nope, still don't do it. I just am very minimalist with things that I bring in.
It's interesting, I feel like I'm kind of, there's a couple explorers that are very like the parent of the group, and they're like, I've got snacks and hand sanitizer and toilet paper and baby wipes, and it's like
I'm usually with one of those people, so then that's why I'm okay.
There's the truth. You bring the supervision.
I'm like, I'm just here, guys.
Like,
I'm just bringing the vibes.
Bringing the vibes and the dresses and the aesthetic. I'm here for it. So first of all, have you ever gotten hurt? Do you have any like urban exploration injury stories that you can share with the class?
Yes,
let's go.
Actually, I've been hurt. I was at Westboro State Hospital in Mass. It's also gone.
God bless.
R.I.P. Love that place. And one of my legs completely went through a floor all the way down to, I hate this word, but I don't know what else to say, crotch. Like literally I did a split on the floor. My other leg was completely flat out on the ground, and my right leg was in the floor completely. And I'm just dangling, my leg is dangling there. Yes. Spread eagle in the bando, not in a good way. Would not recommend. I was so glad that I wasn't alone, because like I used to go there alone all the time. I go to places alone most of the times. I like being alone in bandos. So I was so happy I wasn't alone. I don't know what I would have done to get out of there. Like I would have been trying to do push-ups, but like my friends pulled me out of the floor. And I was like, what the hell? Like my pants were ripped. I had just like leggings on, so they were ripped. I had cuts all over me. Bruises, abrasions, but it could have been way worse. Like I'm just glad I didn't go all the way through.
You could have fully fallen through a whole ass.
That's just the first time that I got hurt in a bando, though. there's plenty. There's a plentiful amount of stories where I've been hurt.
I feel like it's a kind of unfortunately a common thing, and that's one of the like less crazy stories I've heard. I mean, there was an
yeah,
and I've done over 150 of these episodes, so it's hard for me to remember exactly who told me what story, but I remember the one that I share with everybody when I like bring up the podcast that I do a podcast, is I did an episode with this guy, and he was with his buddy. They were exploring some abandoned jail or whatever it was, hospital, and his friend was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go leave and go sit in the car, like, I'm done. Like, you finish getting your shots, I'll meet you outside," kind of thing. And so he's like, "Yeah, cool, no worries." So he keeps shooting, and all of a sudden he hears his friend screaming. So he runs to a window, and his friend has tried to scale a fence with those like spikes on top, and one of the spikes went through his leg, and he is dangling upside down by this fence.
Oh my god!
And he had to go lift his friend's body.
No, my injuries are nothing compared to this.
This is probably the craziest one that I've ever heard.
That is insane.
And then, of course, his friend, he like brings his friend to the hospital. And then I was like, okay, well, like, first of all, like, what did your friend say? Like, how do you explain?
Yeah, what do you
to a doctor?
I was, like, trespassing.
Like, fell through a fence. And he was like, God. I don't know, I left him there. And I was like, what?
You just dropped him off?
I just did a drive-by drop-off. It was like, good luck with your fucking hole in your leg, guy.
I know. Like, figure it
Enjoy
out.
your tetanus shot, brother. Fuck.
Oh, my God. No.
So, yeah,
Get the fuck out
I always
here.
ask about the Urbex injury stories because of that. Specific.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how can it
Definitely
get worse?
Never anything that bad. Oh, my God. I've never even needed, like, stitches from
No, I've never been down that bad. I almost fell through a floor when I was in Wales. I was in an old, like, hotel, I think it was. My friend was filming a movie, and for some reason, he, like, knew this guy that owned this property that had, like, I think, like, a bunch of workers lived there, but then there was this hotel, and it was completely abandoned, and they used part of it for their film. And so I got to go, like, explore for a bit. And I'm just walking around, literally filming myself talking. I'm like, these old places and the floors aren't very... And then I fell through a fucking hole in the floor.
No!
As I'm talking on camera.
Did you go all the way through the floor?
No. I like, realized I was starting to go, and I, like, quickly adjusted. But, I mean, it's awful. It's an awful feeling to fall through
It is.
Something that's supposed to be stable.
Yeah.
And I think
it happens too often too, where you're just like, "Oh, that spot's not good. Can't walk there."
And there's nothing worse than like a squishy floor. Like I fucking if I can hear the floor squishing.
When I'm somewhere and there's carpet and you can't tell
gross.
what's going on with the wood underneath, it freaks me out so bad. I'm like, "Oh God, just pray. Just you're gonna be
and
okay."
people are, people will like try to give tips, like walk on the outside perimeter of the like. I want to go in the floor, in the middle of the floor. I gotta go that way. I'm not gonna fucking Splinter Cell, fucking CIA creep. No, we're not doing this. I will just risk it for the biscuit.
And I'm like a really ballsy explorer. Same. Like people will be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna walk in there," and I will be the one.
You're sprinting.
Walk in there. Like I'm in there already, and they're like, "Wait, you shouldn't." No,
we're already
good.
here.
We're
already here.
Like I'll do it.
It's so crazy the things that we do as like urban explorers that normal everyday people are just like, like I went down to Memphis to help film some music videos the other day. And one of the locations was in the basement of like a venue, but like the basement is like, they don't use it. It's just disgusting. There's water everywhere. It's fucking gross. Asbestos coming down from the ceiling type shit. And they're like, okay, we got to like start bringing lights and gear and stuff down there. But it's like really dark and I was like, oh my God. I was like, there's no one there. Like the door's been locked. Like I promise you it's okay. So we walk in and some of them are like, oh, this is really creepy. I'm like, I feel great. Like I'm fucking living.
Like, I'm in my
I
element.
am breathing the asbestos into my lungs. Put that shit in a bottle. Sell it. That's where we're at.
I will buy
all of them. Putting it up on the store. Has anything ever made you want to stop exploring? Have you ever like encountered something or someone and you were just like, I gotta take a second? Or has there ever been anything that was like hella extreme?
Yeah, actually it didn't even happen to me. It happened to my husband. He got arrested out of school and it was in Virginia, and they take that extra serious down there. So it was no joke, and him and his friend were in prison down there.
In prison?
Like, they literally brought them to prison.
To prison, okay.
To prison, not just a holding cell. Like, actually, they were in prison.
Holy shit.
And got a phone call, and my husband's like, you gotta come get me, you gotta come bail us out. So I had to drive there, I had to leave work, drive hours into Virginia, like almost fucking 6 hours away, bail them out. It was a Friday, and if I didn't get there before a certain time, they'd be there till Monday. So I got there by the skin of my teeth, got them out, and was like, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe this. Like, we need to stop doing this. Like, it really scared me. I was like, I was like, you could be looking at serious time. And, like, thankfully, when they went back to court, they, like, the one cop looked at my husband and was like, oh, no, that's not the guy, and just let him go. And I was like, what? So
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know. So we were like all freaked out, and thankfully nothing even happened. And then they basically dropped it for his friend too. So
no shit.
So it was scary, and he could have been looking at like serious time because they were like putting them in for like a B&E felony down there.
What? And wait, what? At a school? Usually it's like a construction site or like federal property.
Right, it was a school, and they didn't even B&E it. There was no windows in the place. They were all blown out. They just climbed in a window. So how do you B&E a place with no windows? Right, like it's already broken. We just entered. What?
That's fucking insane.
So nothing ever even happened from it, but it scared both me and my husband, and it, like, for a little bit we both kind of stopped, and then I got right back into it, and he actually never did. Like, he
was done.
Yeah, basically. He'll come with me every once in a while, but yeah, no, he doesn't do it like he used to, and that was kind of the turning point, was around then. He was just kind of like, it's not worth it. Like, him and I both have records. Like, you know, we both were, like, came from, like, you know, bad lives that fixed their lives from Urbex. Like, that's how I met my husband, on Instagram. I met him because of photography. So it's like crazy that, like, you know, the thing that you're doing to like stay away from getting in trouble, like, you could still get in serious trouble doing this. So
I mean,
it's like, it
stops a lot of people from doing it.
And I'm like, all right, well, I'd rather be doing this than doing what I was used to do to get in trouble. So that's fine with me. But I don't know, like, I do get it when people get in trouble. It's scary. It's like, you really think about, like, this is no joke. Like, people do look at this and they're like, who don't do it, and they're like, they glamorize it, like, oh, that's so cool. And it's like, you don't know what we're risking. You don't know what we're putting in to, like, actually, like, live this, like, lifestyle. Like, for me, it's like, this is way more than a hobby. Like, this is part of my life. Like, you know, it's like, I have, like, my real life, and then this is, like, my real life. Like,
your Hannah Montana life. It's wild because, like, I mean, you know, I've definitely, like, I guess slowed down a bit just because my actual career has been ramping up so much in the past, like, year and a half. So, you know, I get comments all the time like, you fell off, and it's like, well, no, I film rocket launches now, which, like, I need a background check for that for my security clearance. So, like, there's a bit more repercussions, like, if I get fucked.
Like,
you know,
we have
like,
responsibilities out here.
Like, we are adults with adult responsibilities. So, like, when people are like, you know, you're not exploring as much, like, well, yeah, I'm sorry, like, I'm doing other cool shit. Like, hello. There
was a few years there where I wasn't really exploring like I used to, and now I feel like this last year has been, like, one of the busiest that I've had in a long time, because I was kind of just like, all right, I need this right now. Like, I have not been doing good in the real life, so I need this life to get me out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does come in waves, this hobby, you know, especially, like, after something, you know, happens, like, for example, your husband getting arrested, making you guys take a step back. Like, I think we all kind of have those moments where something happens and we're like, okay, wait, I got to take a second, whether it be like an injury or, you know, getting caught or whatever life things that come into play. And I feel like people on the internet are just being people on the internet, which is annoying, but it is what
Why aren't you doing this 24/7?
Yeah. It's like, well, first of all, no one's paying me to do this. Like, I sell photography books, and, like, that's the least profitable thing that I do, but I do get the most joy out of selling my photography books and signing them and sending them out. It's so fun.
Oh yeah, I get the most joy out of every time I sell a print.
Hello, friends. Going to interrupt myself quickly for a little ad break for you. So, if you guys are looking for a photography bag or an urban exploring bag, I've been using the same bag for over a decade, and I mean, not only do I love this bag, but I have literally brought it to every bando I've been to. I've brought it to every corporate shoot that I've done outside of urban exploring. This is the only bag that I've never had to replace. It's only just now starting to like decay itself. So I now have like an actual like urban exploring bag. You know what I mean? It's like actually peeling apart at the seams. But the company is Wondered. The bag is the Provoke 21 liter bag. It is a roll top bag. It's absolutely amazing. I backed this company over a decade ago. They made a Kickstarter for a photography bag for photographers by photographers. I backed it. They sent me the bag because that was the like tier that I selected. And it's been the bag that has withstood everything I've thrown at it. But Wondered is back. They just launched a new Kickstarter for a revamped version of the Provoke bag. There is a 21 liter bag, a 32 liter bag, I believe, and maybe like a 41 liter. There's a bunch of different Kickstarter options. They launched a Kickstarter about a week ago. Within the first day, they had already raised $93,000. And I'm just going to check where they're at now to see what they've raised. So it looks like the new Provoke bag that they were asking for $25,000 is currently sitting at $465,505. This is how much this bag means to the photography community. It is, I mean, they are the best in the business at making photography bags. So you can, I mean, just support. I get like very little out of this. I do have a affiliate code with them, so I do get a little bit of kickback there. But with this Kickstarter in particular, I don't get any kickback. I just really support this brand and would love to do more with them. So if you guys want to get a new photography bag that is made by photographers for photographers that travel, that put their bags through the ringer, check out the Wondered Kickstarter. I will put it down in the description below. Thank you guys for making amazing bags, Wondered. Go pick up yourself a Provoke. What was your like scariest exploration story?
Scariest. I don't know which way to think of this. Like,
well, you could go paranormal scary. You could go human encounter, animal encounter.
I want to just go with this because it's the first thing that popped in my head and it was recent. This was scary and I don't even know why I did this. So let's just start there. I was on a trip for the weekend with my friend Tanya, Decay Princess. We met up in Pittsburgh and we had a great weekend. And then I'm like heading home from that. And I was like, let me try a couple spots on the way home, like by myself. So I pull up to this diner and I'm like, I wanted to go to this diner for a while. I'm like, I hope it's open. I wouldn't have to do anything crazy to get in here. As I'm walking up to it, I'm like, what is all this stuff? There's like so much stuff piled around the outside of this like side door, like just like clothes and like things that were like covered in blankets. Okay. And I was like, that's weird. So I go up to the door and someone is walking towards me inside of this abandoned diner. And I was like, what? So they opened the door and they were like, they're closed. And I was like, oh yeah, I can see that. Like, and she was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, well, I wanted to take some pictures of this place. Like, I'm a photographer. And she was like, oh, okay. I was like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I've been staying here for a while. I was like, okay, all right. So, you know, she's homeless. And I'm like, okay, I see you. You're in the diner. You're posted. Like, I got you. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so she like just opens the door and I go in. And like not thinking like, dude, why didn't I think like there could be more people in here with her? This is not a good idea. Like, you are a person who's alone with like your bag with you, with your money, with your car keys, with like, what are you doing? So that's starting to hit me as I'm walking around in this diner and she's like in front of me. And that's when a second person comes around from the back and this lady is like just looking at me kind of crazy. Okay. Well, and I was like, hi, how you doing? And she just didn't say anything.
Oh no.
Grabbed a styrofoam cup off of the countertop of this diner, put it in her pants in front of me and started pissing in it.
Oh.
So I was like, okay. What's going on? Like, I'm basically in their, like, house right now. So I'm just like, I'm a guest. I'm just going to be polite and turn away. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to go get my camera bag because, like, I left it in the car because I was just, like, checking the place out before I, like, brought all my stuff. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to go get my camera bag. And I walk outside and immediately call my husband. I was like, there's 2 homeless ladies in the diner. And he's like, what? And he's like, so leave. And I was like, well, I went out to get my camera. He's like, you're not going back in there. I'm like, no, I'm gonna. Like, I want to shoot it. I'm like, like, I was like, no, it's just the two of them. Like, I walked around and made sure, because, like, I was like, I'm not going in there if there's a guy in there. Like,
Of course.
sorry, not doing it. It was
Yeah.
already sketchy enough to go in there with two women that were, like, way bigger than me. Like, I'm a small person. I'm 5 feet. And this one lady in there, she was, like, probably close to 6 feet tall. She was a big woman. So I was like, what am I doing? But whatever. I went in and I put my dress on. I took my pictures. I got some good pictures. They were just, like, very interested in what I was doing. Like, the one of them was showing me her dresses because they had so many clothes in there. They had, like, piles of clothes in the booths and, like, just food everywhere. Like, yeah, they've been living in this diner for a while.
Wow.
But yeah, they were very interested in what I was doing, and they were nice, and I was nice to them. And then I just said, all right, well, have a good day. And I left them to have their diner. But it was scary, though. Honestly, the whole time, like, at one point, I'm taking pictures, so I'm away from my camera, like,
yeah. Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
one of the ladies walked up to it and was like, oh, look at all this fancy photography.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I was just like, my heart was, like, pounding. I was like, oh, God, I gotta hurry up. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get robbed, but...
And we never know, like, you never know what anyone's intentions are in these buildings if they're already in there. Like, I was in a abandoned YMCA, and there was, like, a group of people, but we also had a group of people. There were probably, like, 5 or 6 of us, which, by the way, if there's more than 4 of you, that's way too many goddamn people in your group. Cut it down. That's too many people. You're going to get caught. But one of the people that was, like, squatting in this building, they were like, hey, do you guys need a room for the night?
No.
We were like, no, we're all set. Thanks.
Like, gonna pass, thanks.
Yeah, appreciate you, but no, we're all set, man.
Oh my God.
So yeah, you just never know who you're gonna run into in these situations.
You don't. It's like, you want to think everyone's good, but you just never know. So it does get scary.
Yeah, for sure. How about your most creative entrance into a building?
Most creative entrance. All right. Well, I would say this one time I was at a house and there was no way to get in on the lower level. So I was like, okay, like, this seems doable. I'll just, like, scale this house. And I literally, like, jumped and grabbed, like, the overhanging, like, whatever this thing was on, like, a door, basically. And I just hoisted my body up and climbed up onto now the roof level and just walked all around along the roof, checking windows until I found one that was open and was like, okay, here we go. Like, literally scaled a building and was like, I don't even know how I just did that. What, like,
listen,
absolutely insane.
I'm convinced that urban explorers are athletes in their own right because of the
I know, we're like little
shit.
monkeys.
We are. And we, like, go through, like, crawl spaces and fucking air conditioning vents, like, to get...
Oh, I've done that.
Dude,
definitely done an air conditioning vent.
Some crazy shit to get into some places. Through the roof, a hole in the roof, and then drop down. We're just
Oh, wait,
psychopaths.
Another one where I climbed up into the house from a crawl space underneath it in a broken floor. And I actually smashed my head in that crawl space and thought I gave myself a concussion. I was literally seeing stars. I was, like, spinning under there. That was pretty recent. And I crawled up through the floor into the house, and my body is literally, like, resting on more broken floor that's, like, breaking underneath me, and I'm, like, trying to climb into this house.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've only had one concussion, and it was actually recently. I was crowd surfing at a show, and they, like, kind of dropped me, and I smacked the back of my head on some other dude's head, and I, like, immediately was like, oh, I'm fucked. But I had never, like, experienced, like, concussion symptoms until that. And, like, for 2-3 days after, I was like, I'm fucked up. Yeah, you can get pretty fucked up at concerts. This is not the way.
I love to crowd surf, and I'm always up there.
Yep.
It's scary when they almost drop people. I've never been dropped, thankfully, but I've seen...
Yeah, I've never been fully dropped, but I've definitely seen some people, because I tour with my own band and with other bands as a photographer, so I see people get fucking knocked out. I saw a guy get knocked out in the pit once and had it on video, and I was like, I shouldn't post this, but fucking crazy, like, fully just obliterated, had to stop the show type shit. It was crazy. So do you have a favorite history of a location you've been to?
Like, for me, mostly I go to, like, houses, and I do actually look up when I find, like, names of people who live there. I look up, like, what I can about them to try to, like, learn about them and stuff. and I just think it's cool. And this one house that I found, that's like
Mhm.
my baby. Like some places, like I do have a few people, it's like, oh, we'll like share spots
Sure.
with each other, we trust each other. But this one, it's like I will never. Like this is my baby. So I found this house and I found out information on it, and this couple, this gay man couple lived there, and like they had this like beautiful life together. One of them was like a painter, and the other one was a professor of like art at some college, and they were just like just I loved their life. Like I loved looking at their stuff in their house, and it was just so beautiful. They had like this cat that they loved with pictures all over the place. Like the litter box was still in the house with poop in it. So crazy. Like after 10
Wow.
years of them being dead, and I found their obituaries, which was the most beautiful thing about it. Like the one wrote the
Oh,
obituary for his husband, and then
wow.
he wrote his own, and they were so beautiful and touching, and it melted me. Like I was literally crying in the car, like on the way home from this bando, when I was
Wow.
reading all this stuff about them. And I just felt like such a connection with these two men that I don't know, and I just like made beautiful art in their home, and I just felt like they
Yeah.
would have appreciated it, and like they would have been like happy that I
Yeah.
was doing that. And like I don't know, it
Oh, that's
just,
so
I love
cool. And I
that.
think
Like
that's one of the most special things about abandoned, like exploring abandoned places, is the history. Like some of it's very dark, but some of it is beautiful like that, like there are some really magical stories to be found out there. But unfortunately for the hobby we're in, a lot of it is darker shit. It's just,
it
just
is, it
kind of the
is.
way it is. They go, a lot of these places become abandoned because of tragedy. Unfortunately, it's just a way, but that kind of adds to the mystery of what we do, and I think it makes it even more special. Um, where do you draw the line on risk? Like, is there anything you won't do?
There is absolutely no line for me, which is so bad. Like, mostly when I'm with people, like, I feel like I give them confidence that, like,
Yeah.
they don't have. And, like, I'm that one that's like, nah, we got this, we're doing it. Like, I'll do anything. Like, if there's cameras, I'll walk in front of them. Like, I'm like,
You're
I'm
like
like, all
waving
right.
at shit.
I
Stop.
literally am like, oh, they probably don't work. They're probably not on. Like, I'll try anything. Like, if it says alarms all over it, I'm still opening a door. Like,
Mhm.
I need somebody to pull me back most of the time, because I have like no risk factor line. Like, I'll literally hear like the cops are here, and I'm still posing in front of my camera. Like, all right, well, they're already here. I got to get the shot. I'm not running away. Like, I'm here, I'm doing my thing. Like, I will explain myself to death and then just deal with the repercussions, but I'm not running away from nobody. I'm doing my thing, and that's it. And, like, I'll do anything to get in a spot. Like, I'm just insane. Like, literally, don't at me, but that's who I am.
It's so interesting. So I started having my guests ask questions for future guests on the show, and one of them is like, has anyone ever sent it despite the cops being there? So that's definitely like you're the one that's like, I'm still gonna do the shot, I'm still gonna get it. That's amazing. um Let me see.
And I got the shot, too, because that did happen.
That's amazing. So another one of my other guests, Hysterical Panic, asks, what is something you've touched while exploring that you regret touching? Me, I'm like most things.
Right. Afterwards, I'm like, ew, I need to wash my hands.
Yeah.
I still haven't washed my hands between each bando when I'm out, like, on a trip.
Yeah.
Um, Jeez. What have I touched that I regret? Oh, actually, at the gay man house, there was a glass container, almost like the Beauty and the Beast that holds the rose, but there was a dildo
Stop.
in it. And I can send you videos and pictures of this, because it was the funniest thing I've ever found. Like, it was like their precious dildo. Like, they kept it in a glass,
I'm
like,
fucking
oval container. And, like, I was just like, just even holding it in the container. I never took the dildo out of the container, but just holding
That's
it in that, I was just
crazy.
like, oh my God, I
That's
can't believe I'm touching this.
crazy. Oh my
I
God.
know.
I'm here for
I
that.
know.
That's so fucking funny. Earth's unknown places. His question is, what's the weirdest thing you've seen while exploring? And I feel like that's pretty up there.
Weirdest thing I've seen.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the weirdest. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know why I was shocked. I was in a mausoleum, but I saw like the bones of a body.
Oh yeah, that's
and
pretty
I
wild.
and and it kind of like I had a feeling that there could be bones in there, but I just still looking into a casket and seeing it, it was just like a weird feeling. I was like, oh, whoa, like it was almost like, oh my god, that's so cool, but then at the same time, holy shit, this is so fucking sad, because like this place is just left here with people's loved ones just fucking rotting, and their caskets are fucking open and shit, and like it was a weird feeling. I was just kind of like, ugh. And
it is a pretty strange thing that we do, and like especially like, you know, old mausoleums and stuff that are abandoned. It's like, oh, you just like really fucking left them like that.
Yeah, like, and it just was like an ominous, like, fucking heavy feeling on me that I was like, kind of wish I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Like, would have rather not seen that.
Yeah, no, that's
even
wild.
though people like expect you to like think that's like, oh, that's so cool. Like, have you ever? I get asked that all the time. Have you ever seen a dead body?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, but like actually, wait, I have, but like bones.
Yeah.
But I do know people who have seen dead bodies.
Oh
and
yeah.
That would fuck me up.
Oh
like, dude,
yeah.
No.
I'm
not. That's one thing I won't stay and shoot for. If there's a dead body in there missing with that bullshit, I am out the door.
Yeah.
I'm out the door so fast.
I did an episode with somebody. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look up who it was. I did an episode with somebody on the show, and they were in like I can't remember what, like an old hospital or something. And you know how like the scrappers will come and take out like the copper and shit. So this guy was trying to like strip the copper out of an elevator shaft. And the elevator, like he cut something and the elevator started to fall. And it ended up like he tried to get out because he was like, you know, down underneath it basically. He tried to lift himself out and the elevator basically cut him in half, right?
Oh,
so he died, but like half his body is still like hanging out of the side of the fucking elevator. And this guy like happened upon this. And he said the guy obviously was like foaming at the mouth, obviously had been dead, but like, you know, you can still see the residue and stuff. And he said that like really fucked him up. Obviously he called the cops and stuff and whatever, but like he said it really, really fucked him up. Like, you know, and and I feel like people underestimate the danger of going into these places, and it's not even just going in. Yeah, it could have been you, me. Like people fall off roofs down elevator shafts. Like this is something that does happen, and it doesn't even have to be in the bando. Like there was an explorer that just died that was trying to get to the Baikonur space shuttle in Kazakhstan. He like died on the way, and his friend like he basically like collapsed, and his friend was like, "I'm gonna go get help," and he goes to the military checkpoint, and the military goes back with him to find his friend. His friend ended up passing because of the like exposure to the elements. And because I mean it's a tundra out there, right? Like it was really hot, they didn't have enough water, it's like miles and miles and miles to get to this place on foot. So they found his friend had died, and then they arrested him. So like not only
lose your friend.
Yeah, not only did your friend just die, but like now you're in a fucking jail in Kazakhstan. The fuck? Get the fuck out of here with that. Crazy
I have
shit.
yet to explore out of the United States, and honestly, it terrifies me. I want to, but like, I don't know.
It's
like,
interesting.
People say that you don't get in trouble as much in different countries, though.
There's definitely not, like, the repercussions aren't as great, depending on where you go, of course. Obviously, like, always keep that in mind. But like Japan, for example, I haven't been there yet, but I know a lot of people that have. They're very superstitious about abandoned places, so they don't really fuck with any of that shit. They kind of just leave you alone. So it's kind of like an unspoken like gray area in Japan specifically. But I mean, I've explored Greece and Portugal, some other places. I know Italy's a bit like testy about explorers. I think it also depends on like your intent.
I've seen signs from people in Italy where on the outside of bandos it literally says no Urbex.
Yeah, which is just the funniest shit.
I love that. Like, that's so hilarious.
Don't at me, but all right.
Right. No Urbex.
No Urbex is crazy. I love that shit. All right, couple more questions for you. Given what you know about, you know, sneaking around, being stealthy, kind of spending a lot of time in these more derelict environments, how long do you think you would survive realistically in the apocalypse? Like, are we talking a week? Are we talking years? Where are we at?
No, I think I'd be out there. I'd be out there for years for sure. I would be out there. I'm pretty scrappy. Like, Yeah.
I think unfortunately, I think I'd make it like a week because like I would like, someone would approach and they'd be like, hey, can I use your bath? Or, some dumb shit. And I'd be like, sure. And then they'd kill me and I'd be dead. They'd kill me for my shit. You're like, bye.
Absolutely not. Only person I trust is me and I'm going to make it out alive.
I love that. I would honestly, I'd probably go to one of the old ICBM missile silos because, unfortunately they are all kind of on a map, but I have been in one of them and those things are it's just miles and miles and miles of nothing. Tunnels. But also dark as fuck. Crazy. You're underground. It's terrifying. Terrifying. My phone doesn't work. I can't see anything. It's quiet. It's spooky down there.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello, friends. Interrupting myself once again to bring you guys some information. There is a new social media app, and I know we're exhausted. There's so many of them, but this one's different. There's a new app called Subs, and I think it's only on web browser. I'm not sure if they have an app just yet. I was invited to this. I got the pitch, and I was like, wait, this is actually sick. So it's a very new platform, and the way it works is that you can take your existing content that you already post on Instagram and YouTube and wherever. You can put it on this platform. It was created by one of the co-founders of OnlyFans. Has nothing to do with adult content. Calm down. It's going to be okay. He wanted to actually make an app that was specifically did not have adult content on it. And that was the thing that really drew me to this because I'm tired of going on Twitter and seeing things I didn't sign up to see. Like I can't even go on Twitter in an airport anymore because of the shit that's on Twitter. Subs is different. The way it works, you can load things to your vault, so you can preload things to your vault. You can make regular posts with photos and videos, but you can also do paid exclusive content. So the way it works for me is I will post like a video. For example, my Six Flags video. I'll post a long form video, but if people want to get high res images, I put them behind a paywall. So people can pay to see the images, download them, keep them, do whatever they want with them. That's how it works. So it's similar to OnlyFans with like the free posts versus your subscribers versus the paid stuff. So I've already started making earnings on this. I've only been on it for like a few weeks and it's sick. And it's still relatively small. And so they're looking for niche creators on the platform right now. So I am the first urban explorer that is on Subs. If you want to join Subs and find a way to monetize the content that you already make as an urban explorer, check it out. Use my link down in the description and I'll see you there. What do you hope for the future of urban exploring?
I hope that the younger crowd doesn't continuously keep going to these places to destroy them because I feel like that's become a huge thing.
Yep.
Where so many, and I guess that's been happening for probably decades, but I feel as though it's been happening more recently than ever where places are just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And not just once, over and over again, because I'm one to go to a place and clean it up if somebody messed it up, and then it'll just happen again and again and again, and now people are graffitiing time capsule homes.
Dude.
And I'm just really I respect it. Go graffiti something that's meant for that.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that in somebody's home.
Yep.
That's just crazy. So I hope that dies down.
Yeah, I think it really ramped up a lot during COVID. Honestly, that's when I kind of noticed it. Obviously, social media plays a huge factor in spreading all the bullshit type videos like that. And so I think that really kind of unfortunately popularized the destruction of a lot of these bandos, and it sucks. It sucks. Like you were saying, I went to this really cool mansion here in Tennessee that just got demolished maybe a few months ago, but beautiful, master bedroom with iridescent paint on the ceiling. Everybody knows this place. It's very well known.
I know which one you're talking about.
But I have this sick photo of the bed and the ceiling, but on the wall next to the bed is just a fucking dick.
Yeah,
why?
There is. There's always a dick.
Why?
There's always a dick.
A swastika, a dick, and just profanity. It's
and
not
the N-word. Every single time.
Can we just make a cool portrait or get the fuck out?
Right, you're not even making art with your graffiti.
Nah.
You're just tagging the dumbest shit ever that no one cares about.
And what like, are you stoked about that dick that you just spray painted? Like, why
Exactly.
is that the thing? Why?
It'll never make sense to me.
Never.
It'll never make sense. Like,
all right. So what is something you know now about exploring that you wish you knew when you started?
I feel like I don't have an answer for this, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, when I started, I was really young, and I feel like you kind of just like go with the flow, and then I feel like it's almost like the same shit, different bando. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the only thing, and I guess it doesn't even really have to do with exploring, it has to do with more with this quote unquote community, is to be careful who you trust with what information, and really just be careful of who your crowd is that you hang out with, that you talk to, like, because this community, it's like, it can be like high school, but times 10 worse on crack. Like, it's crazy out here. So that's one thing, is that I would definitely tell myself when I started, branching out in this community of urban exploration, would be cautious of who you trust.
I can fully agree. I think people are really quick to like be your friend, and then really quick to like flip on you whenever,
right.
If
when it's convenient for them.
Yeah, or like, I've seen like a lot of a group plans a meetup or a road trip, and then like life shit gets in the way, and you're like, hey, I can't, and then they're like, oh, well, fuck you then. And it's like, then they start talking shit, and it's like, I'm sorry that like life is also happening now. Like, I can't just, stop life. So
that, and people just get pin obsessed and like crazed
dude.
over spots, and then they're they're
real.
mad at you over an abandoned building, and you're just like, is this real?
And also, you don't own it, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I hate that more than anything.
It's crazy.
Like, are putting their own locks on stuff. Like,
oh, that shit's fucking wild.
I'll let you in, and I'm like, you're not gonna let me into the bando. I'll cut your lock off faster than you can fucking blink. What are you talking about? Nobody's letting me in. I'll let myself in.
Yeah, the fuck.
Like,
people
you're
are
out of your
crazy.
mind.
That and like I know people like sell shit from bandos on eBay, or like keys, like master keys on eBay and shit. Like, what the fuck? How?
Like, what are we doing?
Selling pins? Like, what the fuck are I mean,
selling pins,
I can't knock your hustle, but that's crazy. I can just ask someone else.
Yeah, selling pins is absolutely crazy. Like, you'd have to come at me with like at least 500,000 to get my mask. Get away from me.
Everybody's got a price, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yours is just $500,000. Let's go.
Yeah,
make that
no
bag.
big deal.
Fuck yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me on here. If people want to keep following your journey, let them know where they can find you, how they can support you, get a print, book a session, drop all the info.
So my Instagram is at 40_wax, and I have a website, which is www.40wax.store, and you can buy prints there, or you can message me and book a shoot, whatever.
Hit them with the www. Bro.
Yeah. I hit them with it.
Are you a 90s kid?
That's my age is showing.
Yeah.
I'm 91.
91. Okay, I knew it. I was like, you gotta be a 90s kid if you're hitting them with the www.
Let me just drop my aim real quick too.
Oh my god! Wait,
what
was your aim? What was your AOL?
Oh my god! It was royally FXCKEDXXX. Royally. That was me.
Mine was X emo X cult X. Come on with it.
Yes,
Let's
we
go.
love to see it.
Aim me, bitches. Well, guys, that was my episode with Bianca, aka 40 Wax. If you are a Lizzie Borden fan, if you are a fan of really, really fucking cool, unique photography, check out her Instagram. Check out her website. Pick up a photo print. Book a session with her. She's super talented, and I mean, just such an amazing creative mind, and what a great storyteller. If you enjoyed this episode of the No Tracers podcast, please hit that subscribe button. I'm looking forward to doing another one of these very soon. If you have stories to tell that you would like to share on the show, hit me up at no.tracers on Instagram or contact@notracers.com. If you want to support the show, obviously leave a rating and feedback. It helps us find more viewers and listeners just like you. And if you want to even go one step further, you can pick up one of my photography books or some merchandise at notracers.com. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. This has been the No Tracers podcast. I am your host, Kay, and I will talk to you guys next time. Stay strong, keep enduring, go out, go explore something, and remember, leave no trace.